So, to all my gamers out there, I got a question for you. Do you play more video games than you watch? And that means all of you guys on YouTube right now probably don't have nothing to say, because it's probably more likely that you're watching some gameplay footage right now. Anyway, my name is Juforade, and you're watching Juforade. See, I switched it back and forth just to be different this time. The topic of today's choice will be my own personal one, and it's something that I've been witnessing ever since, well, since 2006, before the inception of really online video became a big thing. Now, I think I'm gonna break this down into two parts, starting from the beginning of the internet when Let's Plays was just on message boards, and I will jump all the way to the future and where we are now. And starting from way back when, on this forum called Something Awful, there were users that wanted to display their different gameplay experiences and show them off to different people, just with screenshots of their actual gameplay from emulators, because it was a lot easier to just take little screenshots than trying to upload just a WMV file of probably 240p, and we didn't have 720p back in like 2006. So back then, we didn't have really like good online streaming gameplay, but it's always been there. I mean, IGN, game trailers, Screw Attack actually had its own little like place where people can actually upload videos, but Let's Plays evolved from just being simple text-read freaking forum messages to walkthroughs, and not necessarily talk-throughs yet, but walkthroughs, and I've seen people just use subtitles at first. And then that's when the other guy just got the best idea of just adding his own voice and telling people how to get through the actual game. And I think one of the best people to actually do that is HC Bailey, but don't take my word for it. Anyway, it's 2006 and it's the golden years of YouTube. Why? Because you can upload whatever the hell you want. That means anime, that means music. It was, I call it the golden age, because the golden age of hip hop was basically you get to sample whatever you want. In the golden age of YouTube, you could upload whatever you want, and people uploaded gameplay. And what kind of gameplay? Well, anything that they wanted, anything that anybody could get their hands on from either an emulator or what people were now starting to get were dazzles. Now find yourself a decent headset mic, and then after that get yourself Movie Maker, and there you go. You got your own little setup to make your own Let's Plays. And that's how I got started. But that's in 2008. And by then, that's when YouTube began to use their more restrictive services, such as only uploading for 10 minutes. And you didn't actually get a thumbnail. You had to become a partner. And that was when it was like a new thing. And it was actually a lot of work to become a partner. I remember Classic Game Room. They were like one of the only big YouTube video game partners. But back in the day, the only way you would get partnered through video games, or just Let's Playing in general, or through big networks like Machinima. Well, back then they used to be big. I'm not exactly sure about Machinima's status now, but clearly Maker has stolen their little red flag when it comes to waving over the gamers, because that's where everybody goes instead of over fucking Machinima. My point is, YouTube wasn't really trying to promote video games. It was really trying to promote like vloggers, comedians, Smosh, cats like that. I mean, video games could have its theme, but once Machinima kind of like start picking up other people and different Let's Players, that's when it seems like the ball began to roll with more and more video game content being uploaded every year to YouTube. And that's when we get to the new 10s where everybody is a Let's Player. I mean, seriously, like, you could just start a Let's Play channel because anybody can play video game shit. All you gotta do is talk over it. It's pretty simple. You see, when I was 16, that's when I actually began to watch video games, but I began to watch them to get an insight of what to do next, you know, kind of like a game fact with just, you know, video. But now people watch YouTubers with personalities, well, YouTube personalities. They watch them and they watch the game, not play it. And the fun that they're having, not necessarily with the game, they're having the fun with the YouTube personality. And that's actually not real fun. It's artificial fun, because you're watching somebody play the game. You're not sitting there engaging with the person while they're on the couch, which is why I can't really watch Game Grumps anymore. It sounds like they're having too much fun on the couch. I'm just sitting at my desk all like, damn, what are y'all laughing at? I want to laugh too. Make me laugh. But at the same time, now everybody's trying to be the Game Grumps. Now everybody is trying to make everybody laugh and be a personality. It's like, who's trying to be the new artist now? The new musicians? Because music has changed. In 2000, everything's digital now. Now, Anybody could be a musician, but who really wants to be? Now, back in the 80s, it was a lot easier to be a musician than go to college. That's what my father ended up doing. But now, the younger generation are just saying, instead of going to college, I want to play video games. And it just got me scratching. What? You can actually do that? And I know 2 kids that recently just dropped out of high school, and they have started live streaming. And one of them actually manages to make a decent living. And it's actually scary because he actually has never actually even got his GED afterwards, and he was planning on it, but his his Twitch career took off, and now he's just at home playing video games. And it just makes me wonder, it's just like, but what's the next step? I mean, and are you really even playing the games for fun, or are you just doing it just so you can get, by and, present it to people and not necessarily, play the game for what it actually is? Because I noticed that a lot of people who live stream, like, they play the game, but they're engaging with their audience and they're not necessarily, like, completing the game on their own. But that's what Twitch does. I mean, I get that. You're supposed to entertain people, but at the same time, it's all like, I want to be entertained, but I'm watching you play a video game. Is this really my entertainment, or is this your entertainment, and I'm just biding my time and really just don't have anything better to do with it? There's this great South Park episode just showcasing how kids can just come home and they watch their favorite Let's Players instead of cartoons. And the main characters are all like, what, are you really enjoying this? You're enjoying watching somebody having fun? I mean, sure, they may be fun, but let me put it this way. You could say Let's Players are now the new radio personalities. You listen to your favorite radio personality because they make you feel good, or you agree with their opinions, or you just see something in them that you see something in you. Though that sounds kind of weird, but anyway, what I'm basically trying to say is everybody has their Let's Players, everybody has their personalities. Let me give you mine. Back in the day, it was Cypheron48, Chugga Conroy, and Hellfire Comms. All of them, like they at one point in time, they were rising and they were really, really hot, but now they're just who they are, and I can't really watch them anymore because it was what interests me was the games, not necessarily the personality. And when I seen Chugga Conroy beat all the other games, I was just like, I'm done with him. When Cypheron, he beat freaking Banjo-Kazooie or Tooie, I was done with him. Hellfire Comms, I've been always addicted to their stuff, but when they stopped doing Sonic work in Kingdom Hearts, well, it's just more like those series just kind of paused, but I was done watching them. See, I was watching the video game. The personality just came second, because I really care more about the game and what input they have on it. Because it's interesting watching the gameplay with different personalities, I'll give you that. But at the same time, how many times can we watch the same game be played by different people? You know how many people have played Sonic 06? Jesus Christ, how many people are gonna go nuts for how fucking insane the game controls? It's like, it's no shit. It's a crappy game. But you guys picked it up knowing that. So, like, I don't care how authentic your reactions are. You know it's a shitty game. You know he's gonna kiss Elise at the end, but I digress. What I'm trying to wrap my head around is, how do people watch live streamers? Now, I got a couple of favorite streamers like the Vine Sauce crowd. I love those guys, but only when their content is uploaded on YouTube and it has a limit, to where I can watch it. It's like they reduce all of their clutter into like a little 30-minute segment, and it makes it more watchable. How the hell do you just keep on a live stream and just let it sit in another tab while listening to another person while doing shit? I guess there's some voyeurism and some just some people just don't like silence while they're doing stuff on the internet, and maybe they'll put on their favorite personality, and at the same time it feels like I'm listening to somebody in the other room playing a video game, and it's making me want to just play one myself. And that's where I'm at. Why the heck aren't we playing video games, and why are we watching more people do it? So that is my question for you guys, and that is, do you play more video games than you watch? Or is it vice versa? Leave it in the comments. Me personally, I actually watch video games and play video games at the same time. I mean, a couple of you probably fall into that boat, but I mainly play on my PSP, and that is my emulator machine. And oh my gosh, I've been playing the crap out of it. I downloaded freaking Bloody Roar. You guys ever heard of that? It's a fighting game, and you turn into animals. It's kind of like Tekken, except you can be a furry. Either way, you guys, leave it in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, and follow me on Twitter, you guys, and I'll be talking to you guys some other time. I don't want to say tomorrow directly, but let's just say I'll be back soon.